Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to actually be talking about the game Black Desert Online. But before we actually start looking at some game footage, because this is going to be a video that's looking at the graphic quality of this holiday event that they're having. And I'm also going to be talking about ways that I'm making money currently in the game. But I first want to go to their website here, because I was trying to find out just like the Halloween event that they had, what things I can do in the game that I can do in the new content. And I go to their website and, it's not clear, they don't really point out that, look, this event's going on and this is how you get involved. It just seems silly that that it's not right out in front here. And, maybe I'm just oblivious to translations here, but I just can't find out. Just like the holiday event, it took me a while to find out, okay, these are the quests that you can do. It took me like 3 or 4 days to figure out what it was within the game, because they're not like coming out like most games that you play, like World of Warcraft, whatever. They put an auto quest in your log that at least gets you started, or you have a NPC that everyone talks to that has a new quest, and then you get started. You don't even know in Black Desert Online how you get started with these seasonal kinds of quests that are going on in the game. And I was quite disappointed with the holiday, the Halloween event. And now we're talking about this is a holiday event or a wintry festival kind of thing going on, and I don't even know how to get started. But let's continue on their website, because I wanted you to see this, the 7-day try for free. So basically what they're doing is they're doing a almost free-to-play platform, because they're going to let you play it. And it's really not really telling me much here. It's just showing me a picture. But it looks like they're going to allow you to play the game for 7 days for free. And then I noticed, let me see if I can go, I think it's under this Christmas thing. No, these are the cash shop things. There was something that I had seen earlier that not only can you play it for free for 7 days, but the cost of the game has gone down phenomenally. And I wish I could find that where I could show you. This is not going to tell me that. I thought when I clicked on it last time that it brought me right to it, but it obviously I know I wasn't dreaming that I saw that. Maybe it's under overview. No, it's not under overview. This is very strange. Let me see if I maximize this screen and go back. Oh, there it is, right there. Duh. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry for that stumbling around. But here, even after playing it for 7 days for free, you could just buy the game for $5. Okay, now let's ask ourselves, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I think it tells us 2 stories. One being is they need to get player base back on the server. And the second thing it tells you is a lot of people have left the server and gone on to other things. Usually when a game is this new, the box set doesn't come down in price if they've got a good player base. It basically, if the game costs you $69, it should be $69 for at least a year, or at least discounted a little bit, $5 here, $5 there, but not so phenomenally where the game's gone free to play for 7 days, and then you can buy the game outright for $4.99, and it's not even a year old. So it's telling you that, look, there's a lot of people that did get into this game and now have left, because a company would not create this kind of easy access to their platform if they weren't scrambling to get more players in their platform. It's just that just seems to be par for the course. When you see a game, most people that I play, they say, hey, if this game goes free to play, that's the end of it. That's the end of it. Because what you're doing is you're just dumping players that are playing the game with no skin in the game. Because for $5, you got really no skin in the game, and you could just rave havoc and be a jerk or an asshat or whatever you want. You found that with a lot of free-to-play games, is people just get on the game to troll. Whereas if the game's at $69, a troll's not going to spend $69 to come into the game and just mess with you. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And so this is a good thing, bad thing. I think this is going to generate more activity on the server, because I play on the servers and I have seen the low activity numbers. I jump from channel to channel all the time, and most of the people in my friends list, I got 100 people in my friends list, they don't even play the game anymore. I don't see that many people playing this game that used to play this game. And I'm not saying that the game is bad for, you know, for those reasons that these people left. I mean, this game is unique in itself, so it's whatever you want to do in the game, and if it meets your expectations of fun, then it's a game for you. I enjoy the micromanagement of this game. So I'm going to get right into the game itself, because I do not want to bore you too much here. I wanted to quickly go over some of the add-ons that they did for this holiday event, some of the decorations. Now, last night there was snow on the ground, and I think they're doing the snow effect as weather changes in the game. So you see no snow right now on the ground, but last night there was snow. So look at some of this cool added graphics that they added. Just a little added, there was some snowmen. Maybe those snowmen are only out when it's snowing. That's actually pretty cool, because I thought I saw, no, they're right here. Okay, so they got some snowmen here. So let me see. Let me see if I can get rid of the UI. There we go. So I got rid of the UI, so because we don't really need it to what I'm trying to show you. So there we go. Little snowman. Some of the decorations are pretty cool. I mean, they put some time into the ambiance of the game. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, the stack of gifts right here. It's just that, like I was saying earlier in this video, is okay, I like to go take part in whatever holiday stuff that they got going on, and I just can't find how to get started. And I'll probably surf the internet some more, see if, or I could be just a moron and I'm just not seeing it. Because I know with the Halloween event, I did have to go find it. It told me, okay, go talk to this person, you'll get started. But that really wasn't a great way to figure out what the events are for whatever holiday that they're presenting. Oh, here's a tree. Look at that decorated tree. Look at that. Oh, and look at this. The marketplace guys all decked out here. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, while I'm walking around here, I did tell you I was going to talk to you about making money and how I'm going about doing it. And there was a person on my YouTube channel that had asked, where are you getting all the materials to make those grade 3 weapon reform stones? And I'm going to briefly go over how I do it, and you might be able to get the materials in a different way, but I think the way I'm currently doing it, I'm just trying to look around here, see if I can see any more stuff. The way I'm currently doing it, I think kind of maximizes the profit, and it doesn't require me to spend too much time getting the materials. Oh, there's like a whole family of, look at that. That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, selfie time. Let's see if I can get to, oh yeah, there we go. It's Tarkis with the snowman family. Okay, I'm going to put the interface back up so I can show you this. So the grade 3 weapon reform stones. So if you don't know what those are, I'm going to show you real quick. We're going to go to one of my workshops, and we're going to click on the workshop, and we're going to click on this. And if you read the ingredients to this, you'll find out that you're going to need steel. You're going to need melted platinum. You're going to need black crystals. You're going to need red tree lumps. You're going to need clown's blood, and then you're going to need Blackstone powder. So out of all of the items that you need here, the most you're going to need is the Blackstone powder. But let's start at the top of the list. Steel can be bought really cheap now. You can go to the marketplace and get that. But if you don't want to spend money to get going, what you're going to need to do is get a coal node and an iron node. Now, iron nodes are everywhere. But what I did is I connected the path from Kepler all the way up to Heidel. So I've got a connection, and I don't really want to go into the details of how you connected these things. I have another video on that, but I am connected. So what I ended up doing was going to this Kepler quarry, and in there you've got a coal node, and I've just got a Heidel worker working there. So I got a green giant worker right now. I'm actually going to move him out of there and put a different worker there. I'm going through promotion stages for my workers right now, so I'm kind of just moving them around. So this guy will bring the coal all the way to Heidel. And then what you're looking at is you're going to need an iron node. There's one right above Heidel here. And really any iron node will do. Just get a worker working iron. So when the iron comes in and the coal comes in, the only thing that you will need to do to make the steel is melt down the iron. So I'm assuming that if you've watched my videos, you know how to do that. So what you do is you take your iron and you melt it, or the raw component of the iron, you melt it to the point where you get those melted shards. Or I'm running over to the warehouse right now so I can actually walk you through this. I didn't want this to be a how-to video too much, just how I was doing it, but I might as well if I'm here. Oh, I already got them in my inventory. Okay. So basically you would melt the iron into these melted iron shards. And then once you've got the coal and that in your inventory, you hit L, and then you just put them both up there. See, the coal and the iron shards, and you hit start. And then you'll create the steel that you need to make those grade 3 weapon stones. Now the other component is that you're going to need to do, and this gets me into the Blackstone powder. Actually, I'll wait to the end because there's a couple things I want to talk to you about the Blackstone powder. See, the other ingredients that we were going to need was clown's blood. I don't make my own clown's blood. I just don't do it. I just buy that out right off the marketplace. It's always available. It's very cheap. Just do it that way. The platinum shards. Now, you can get the platinum if you have this node down here by Altanova. There is a node right here, this zinc ore. It has a chance to produce the platinum shards. When the shards, and then you melt them into the melted shards. Now that's not a steady way of getting platinum. It is just one way to get platinum. Now the other way you can get platinum is to go around, if your gathering's good, just run around Heidel and gather for an hour, and you pretty much will get enough platinum shards to melt them down to make quite a bit of the grade 3 weapon stones. Now the other way you can do it is wait for the platinum, not the actual shards, but the melted part. If you're not looking for having to do any processing, just go to the marketplace and buy them. I obviously have them in my inventory here. Let me just find them. So what you would buy directly off the auction house, that's tin, that's zinc. Okay, there's the platinum shards. So you can just buy the melted platinum shards directly off the auction house, because that's the ingredient you need. Now, you could buy the actual platinum, do I even have any? That's rough diamonds. There, platinum ore. You could buy the direct platinum ore if you want to do the processing. See how much platinum ore I got? I got 500 and something. And that's just coming out of that mine that I was telling you about. Because I haven't gone out and gathered for a while. So you would melt these down, you'd get these, and that gives you that component. All right. So the other ingredients for that, because we've just talked about what was needed to make this work, the steel, the melted platinum shards, we talked about that, the black crystals. Now the black crystals come as an RNG out of that same area that we were just talking about. It's the other node, I believe. But honestly, I just buy those off the auction house. I don't see, really it costing any more to buy them outright. But I believe it's this iron ore mine. If you do that, you'll get the roughed crystals. It's in the same location as the other one you kind of need to invest in by Altanova. And when you the item that you get out of that mine, let's find that for you so that you know what that is. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So basically you'll get this rough black crystal, which you then process into the black crystal. But again, that black crystal is dirt cheap on the auction house. So if you want to save yourself the time and hassle, just buy it off the marketplace or auction house. You know, I do have a source of them coming in. There's 300 and something there, I think. Yeah. And I had nothing here a couple days ago. So I am bringing some in. So this is for those people that don't want to spend any money on the auction house. That's where you get that node. Okay, again, the clown's blood, I don't produce myself. I don't do any alchemy. And that's just how I like to do it. Now the red tree lump, that's the next ingredient we're going to talk about. And that one's pretty simple to get too. Really simple. Let's hit the M key. And it is down here by Calpheon. It is this old, what is that? I'm going to butcher this name, or yeah, I'm not even going to attempt it, but jeez, I play on such a big plasma, I got to walk up to see these names. But there's a birch timber node right here. So it's Old Dindelion. Yeah, I butchered it. So you can see, this is what you're looking for. So you want to get a guy working here, and the RNG part of that is that red tree lump. I have a Heidel worker working here. So I got a guy that runs all the way from Heidel to work this, to bring it all the way. And pretty much I've kind of lazied down my work empire. Most of my workers just come out of Heidel now, and they just run the long journey. So that is how you get the red tree lump. Now the last ingredient, which I told you I was going to save to last, because I want to talk about two aspects of it, because I had one person on my YouTube channel ask if grinding these gems are still worth it. And I don't want to get into too much detail of it. I'm going to just answer saying yes, and I'm going to show you a few reasons why, and then you can just judge for yourself. First off, you need the that black powder dust to so I'm not confusing people here. This Blackstone powder, I call it Blackstone powder dust, but whatever you want to call it, but the game calls it Blackstone powder. You need 40 of those to create one of those grade 3 weapon reform stones. So the question is, do you want to spend 40,000? Well, yeah, about 40,000 if they're going for, no, more than that, 80,000 per stone to make one, which is still going to make money making that if you even spent this. Or I'm going to show you how you could get it pretty much for free. And this goes into, you know, buying these crystals and grinding them up. So I'm going to hit escape here first, and I'm going to bring up my I command here so that I can show you that I do not have any of that powder in my Blackstone powder in my inventory. None. All right. So I'm going to go to the marketplace, and I'm going to go to the crystals. And they made it so easy to buy crystals now that this is so worth doing. I'm just going to scroll down here. Okay, this one's 32,000, right? And there's a whole page of them. So I'm going to hit buy, yeah, just, and they're not even 32. I'm buying them for less than 30 now, right? Because that's the price right there. So I'm buying them for less than 30. I'm going to just buy them up here. Well, just bear with me here, right? I'm just going to show you how ridiculous this is. I'm going to just fill my inventory. And now I'm up to 32,000 for each one of them. And I want to buy them out. I just want to buy them all. So for the sake of craziness, right? Let's say that I paid 35,000 for each of those, right? And I just bought all these, right? Now I'm just going to crush one. I want to make sure that you got your crafting costume on. It doesn't have to be that, you know, I only use a +1. I just find that it works for me. So I'm just going to crush one of these. And again, let's say that I paid 35,000 each for them. Here we go. Alright. So it's going to stop doing it. Okay, I'm going to hit the I command. I'm going to go find where I just created that dust. So I created 44 of them. Right? So that's that one gem that cost me 35,000, right? Can make me one reform gem, right? Because it costs 40 plus I got an extra 4. So I only need 40 of them. Now, this is the other thing about it. Is I can go into the marketplace and just sell that powder outright. And this is what I've been doing. Look at all this powder that I've sold. You know, you could sit here all day long and just sell the powder. Look at it. I've sold it all. Look at it. Telling me to collect the money. And I'm getting almost $500,000 per 500. So I'm going to register. I'm going to hit register here. And I'm going to register those 44 so you can see just if you want to outright sell these. And hit confirm here. So I paid 35,000 and I'm going to get 34,000 for the 44. So basically the difference between that is, and I'm going to bring up my calculator. Actually, I changed my keyboard out, so the calculator feature is not on this keyboard. Sorry. So that's not going to happen right now. But for my next video, I'll figure out how to get that function to work back. But you can look at it. You would take your 35,000 and just subtract it from the 74,000, and that's going to tell you your profit difference. Now, the marketplace is going to gobble up a little bit of that, but just the profit alone, you can see that you're going to make money. And if you understand microeconomics, this is where you're going to be making the phenomenal amount of money, is when you fill your entire inventory of these things. So maybe an additional 4, because like I said, if you kept 40 to make one weaponry grade stone, and you in the extra 4, because it made 44, is surplus. So just think about as a larger scale, if you did 100 of these, that extra 4 becomes 400 extra stones that you either can apply towards making more weaponry form stones, or just sell them for the 1,700 a pop each. So as you can see, I'm just like Energizer Bunny here. I'm just going to continue making these. Now, the question being is this profitable if my processing isn't that high? Well, you need to grab one of these and do what I just did. Now, and see what you're paying into it. Now, your processing abilities might be so low, whereas if you spent 35,000 and you're only getting 37 dust from it, then yeah, your profit margin is not going to be there until you get your processing up. Well, then what you're going to need to look for is gems that just cost less. You know what I mean? I figured out that I can buy gems up to 40,000 and it's still profitable for me, because I use them to make the weapon reform stones. That's why it's profitable for me. I don't normally sell them on the auction house. I sat here for 3 hours yesterday just grinding stones. That's why you saw me slep up so many on the auction house, and obviously they sold. So just a recap on this is the Blackstone powder for the game can be generated in this method by just buying blues. Now you're going to also, and when I say blues, I mean blue gems, but you also can buy the green ones. You know, just go to Magic Crystals. I mean, the green ones, look at this. The green one is 6,000. I'm going to just buy one of those. Okay, so that's 6,000 for a green. And I'm going to crush that. Let's look at what we've got here. We got 350 dust, right? So I'm going to crush that 6,000 one. Let's see what that gives us. You know, I don't think the profit's there. It's just not going to be such a profit margin. So when you can't find blue gems, go ahead and find green gems. There we go. It's done doing its thing. And now we're up to, so I got 11. I got 11 for that. So think about that. I paid 6,000 and I got 11. So if I were to go here and show you, boom, 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 here we go to my registration, register, and I'm going to register 11 of these, because that's what we just got from that. So think about it. I am making 1,000, now, because if you subtract this, I'm going to hit confirm, sorry. if you subtract the money that you put into this, which was 6,000, you can see what your profit is still. And those are the green gems. And I'm sorry they couldn't get the calculator to work. I'll get my keyboard back. I had dumped some water on it earlier this week, and I've been waiting for it to dry out, and it's got my calculator function on it. So I apologize for not being able to do the math with you, but you should trust me in saying that that's still worth doing. Yeah, the weapon reform stone sell, the Blackstone powder sells. Now the other things that people ask me is, how else are you making money? And I'm just going to go over briefly the other things that are in this game that are going to be guaranteed sells on the auction house. And this is not in any particular list. I'm just going to go over the stuff that's in my inventory, in my warehouse inventory, so I can tell you. Now, the cooking honey, that always goes. If you go to Marketplace and you right click on the cooking honey, and that's a node where it's 2,000 and it always sells. And that's a node right outside of Heidel. You should be able to know where it is. Actually, this is, I didn't want to make it too how-to today, but here we go. I'll show you where that node is. That node is right here. So if you got a guy doing cooking honey coming in and out of Heidel all day, put a goblin to it, especially if you want to make quick cash. That cooking honey definitely sells. Okay, any beer is going to sell, but it's going to require you to cook it. So, I got other videos on making beer, and you can look at those. But the actual raw ingredients, look at these. I got 5,000 potatoes. Those sell. If you look at, sweet potatoes, let's see what those sell for now. Well, they're only selling for 300, so not really worth selling. But they would sell. If you were in a pinch for money, you could sell anything that makes beer will sell. And that's a ridiculous lowball figure, because you'll get a lot more by selling the beer after making it than you would. Now the fleece, that sells. Now if you bring it all the way up to wool will sell directly. But again, if you take that wool and make those crafting costumes, which I showed you in the other video, that will also work for you. Now what I've been doing is making those crafting costumes, and I've been sending them up to my Vilia bank just for, or storage, not my bank, but to my storage. So I've got 3+1 crafters here. So what I'm going to do is every time I make one, I'm going to send them up here just to store them, and then one day I'm going to try the RNG game to get a better than a +1. So I'm just trying to use, because you can send items to other warehouses if your warehouse is full in the town in which you're just hanging out. And as you can see, I hang out in Heidel, and my warehouse is pretty much full. The other thing that always sells, if you want to sell it, is the melted iron shards, because people are using that for a few different things. I use it to make my steel, but if you have a surplus, like I've got here 9,000 of the iron ore, so if I were to process that 9,000, I probably would sell half of it to the marketplace once I did that, so I'd still have enough to make the steel. But as you can see, that sells for 1,100, and iron's everywhere. I mean, you can go get like 5 iron nodes right outside of Vilia and Heidel. I mean, it's ridiculous. So let's think about it. I mean, if you were just spending the day melting these things down and selling the melted, you would be making, after the auction house takes their fee, you're looking at probably 300,000 per 500. But that's a lot of money. I mean, just for if you just wanted to AFK process that down. Now the steel. Let's see what the steel goes for. If you wanted to make it into steel, so, well, each steel bar sells for 6,000. So you can make steel. Now, as you can see, as my steel is down there, because that's one ingredient that I use to make my weapon reform stones. So that's always getting depleted. So I've got to keep on making that. So that's what I'll probably do after this video, is make a few more steel so that I don't have to go out and buy steel at the 6,000 rate. Now gold still sells if you're doing water gathering and you're shifting it or whatever. What's it? Let me see if what's it called? Oh, they call it thinning. Sorry about that. So if you're thinning your water and you're getting the gold dust, then the gold bars are still selling pretty good. So if you do the thinning of the water, you're going to get this product here that I'm highlighting. Then you melt that down to eventually into the gold bars. And that's just an RNG product to the water, because water itself always sells. always sell. So if you spend an afternoon, I don't have any in my inventory here, but if you spend an afternoon collecting this river water and thinning it down, you can sell the water itself. I think it's going for $1,900 a pop for that. Plus, then you get the gold byproduct and the gold bars, which you've got, because you've got your melted gold shard, and then it gets into the bars. But if you go and try to sell those bars, and those bars always sell, look at that. And that's just a byproduct. If you take, I haven't done that processing in a while, and it looks like that didn't post because I've reached my limit of things on the auction house. Well, I'm hoping this video kind of answers a few of the questions that I had. I just was trying to compact the answers into one video so that it could just be watched at once instead of having to go to 3 different videos to get the information. So I'm really hoping that this helps folks, and if you have any more questions for me, please ask them on my YouTube channel. Well, thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkis Zone.